Recycling.
Where does it go?
That bin in the back. More recycling.
Jeez.
Yeah, we do a pretty good job around here.
Hey, hurry up! The recycling truck is coming.
Chuck, we gotta go. Dunks and evades.
Goodbye, homework.
Now that's some serious recycling.
You think that's a lot?
Guess how much waste you produce?
If you're an ordinary person, you produce 1,700 pounds of this each year.
Ooh. And guess where all that goes?
What's the impact of your waste for our resources and our world?
The answer affects your life and the health of planet Earth.
So join us as we discover the truth about what happens to your waste
and how you can join us by becoming more responsible for your waste, by becoming stewards.
Oh yeah.
Unearthing our landfill systems.
Oh my, this waste issue is a lot bigger than I thought. Hey Cedric, see what you can find out about the landfill while I decode the data streams coming into mission control.
Gotcha. I see some professionals over there that probably know what's going on. Me and the camera here, we'll get the scoop. Okay, we're rolling.
As a society, we've become really removed from our garbage, from our waste. We've done a really good job as an industry of taking care of your stuff, and probably too good of a job. So everybody just forgets about it.
When your mom tells you to take out the trash, I want you to actually see where it ends up and the amount of environmental integrity and resources that are used to manage that waste.
First, we need to define what's waste. Uh-oh, the system's going crazy. What? Hey, Cedric, I've got some bad news. Everything we create and consume eventually turns into waste, and way too much of it is headed your way. And despite wishful thinking, garbage fairies don't magically take all the waste to some distant dump in La La Land.
No kidding. This place is serious. By the looks of some of the technology here, I don't think it's a dump.
20 or 30 years ago, it was a dump. We threw things in a hole that was not lined, and we burned it oftentimes and buried it. That was it.
So they were unlined facilities. Things like stormwater or any liquids in the waste migrated through the waste. They pick up contaminants and they contaminate groundwater. They also, as waste decomposes, it generates gas, and those facilities were not capped. Gas would emit into the atmosphere, affecting air quality. Landfills generate a lot of methane, and that is a greenhouse gas, so it affects climate change and global warming. Today, though, landfills are a lot different. They're highly engineered systems.
And it's engineered to protect the environment, especially both groundwater and the air. So we're trying to control any, we call it leachate, we're trying to control any liquids that may try to get out of the landfill. We're trying to control any gases. So if you cut through that landfill, and you look from the bottom up, you have your groundwater underneath, your virgin soils, and then we start the engineered part. So we'll often put an under drain in there to prevent any liquids from trying to come up and damage the landfill. And then we have 4 feet of compacted clay. And that's very specific clay to make sure that no liquids can get through there. That's just one part of that containment. Above that, then we have a welded plastic membrane. So every single seam of that is fusion welded. Every single joint of that weld is pressure tested to make sure it doesn't leak. Then we do a rub sheet that kind of protects that geomembrane. We push a drainage stone over top of that, so that allows liquids, once they come down through the liquids, they start coming down to hit that stone, they're able to drain out to pipes, and we can pump it out of this facility to a treatment facility. Then we have the drainage stone, then we start to put the waste in. As you get to the very top, you're at your final grades. We basically take that and flip it upside down. Everything we did in the liner, virtually we do on the top now. We have protective soils, we have a thick layer of clay, we have another layer of plastic that's all welded together again. We have a barrier layer to protect that plastic, and then we plant grasses on top of it. Keep in mind, many of these landfills are 50, 100, 200 acre sites, and you have to have that liner and that cap across that whole area. And that's all welded or seamed together at the edges, so we like to joke it's like a big Ziploc bag. We're keeping gases from coming out the top, we're keeping liquids from being able to get out the bottom.
It's time for a review. What's the difference between a dump and a landfill?
protecting the environment's no joke. Your engineering plan sounds good, but how do you know if it's really working?
We do a lot of the monitoring for the landfill facilities, so that includes groundwater monitoring. You're making sure that the systems that are in place are working. You're not having leakage through the liner system.
Leakage? How important is it to check for that?
The most important thing for life, really, for anybody to survive is water. I have to admit it to you, landfills actually generate dirty liquid. It's called leachate. If it ever reaches the groundwater, this groundwater will be contaminated.
What the groundwater wells that are being installed behind us do right now is are crucial as your sentinels to let you know anytime there's been any contamination that's been released, possible leak in your liner, possible overflow. These are monitored for the various parameters.
I'm glad you're doing that part. Man, there's so much stuff going in here. How much can this place hold?
We're the regional landfill, and we take in just over 2,000 tons a day of municipal and commercial and industrial waste. A life of a landfill in a community of our size is so critically important, even with our landfill diversion, resource recovery, and those banned recyclables.
We're running out of space to put things. We're running out of space to put garbage. And honestly, I don't want to find more space to put garbage. So the importance of compaction is to get the most garbage in the least amount of space. So if we do that, we can have more room for forests and more room for open water and less room for landfills. And by doing that, we'll have more environment for the future generations. But on almost every single load, there is recyclables. There's plastic containers, there's paper, there's cardboard. Some loads, it's all recyclables. And it's very disheartening to see that we have other streams. We make it so easy for people to recycle at their home, at their curbside. Maybe they don't see the fact that they can make a difference.
You can help Abby and make our landfills last longer by becoming stewards.
Clearly that affects everyone and the planet.